telling you, I read about Hezekiah this morning. Very interesting man, a complex man. Hard for God, did a lot of good stuff. But there was this other side of him. Here's what I read. He honored God, cleaned up the country, the southern kingdom, and God blessed him. So kings were honoring him, bringing gifts, supporting him. But the Assyrian king, Sennacherib, had other ideas. I've talked before about how these ancient people, the understanding of God, and that it's not so different from our understanding of God today in terms of the human population across the globe. Babylon had a god that served Babylonians. The Assyrians had a god that served the Assyrians. Edom had a god that served Edom. And so when they looked at Judea, they saw Jehovah as just a god that served Judea. They did not understand that he was it. So Sennacherib came down, surrounded Jerusalem, and making threatening statements to demean their resolve, to break them emotionally and mentally, so he can move in and do what he did to so many other countries. Basically, move in, take the population and displace them to somewhere else, take a population from somewhere else and put them there, so he has control. So here's Hezekiah, confronted with that situation. His army is no match at all for the Assyrian army of Sennacherib. So he does two things. First, he sends a delegation to the prophet Isaiah, saying, Isaiah, we're in trouble. Can you intercede for us? Isaiah seeks God's will, comes back with a message saying, don't worry about it. I got this. I'll take care of it. But Sennacherib is persistent. He sent a letter, and in that letter he says, where's the God of so-and-so? Where's the God of so-and-so? Where's the God of so-and-so? I defeated them all. I took their idols and burnt them up. That's what I'm going to do to you. People of Jerusalem, don't let Hezekiah fool you. That crushed Hezekiah, crushed his resolve. He shrunk inside. So he takes the letter to the temple, lays it out before God, and starts praying. It's a beautiful picture. God dealt with it. He sent the destroying angel, killed 185,000 soldiers. Sennacherib had no option. He packed up his tents and left. His own sons killed him when he got back to Assyria. God stepped in. But here's the other side of Hezekiah that intrigues me, but it also helps me to know that God's mercy and favor and grace is what's going to sustain me. He got sick, and God sent Isaiah to tell him, you're going to die. You're done. He went to his bedroom, lay on his bed, and started praying, telling God of who he was, what he did, blah, blah, blah. But calling out for grace, calling out for mercy, calling out for healing. And God healed him. In my life, I struggle with my shortcomings. I've done a lot of good stuff that honors God and gives him glory. But I struggle daily with my shortcomings. And there's a kind of thinking in Christianity and in evangelical circles that you strive toward perfection. You grow and become grounded. And after being saved, a Christian for 50 years, you think I would have overcome these shortcomings and can just fly through the air as a saint. But no, it confronts me daily, and I need to deal with it daily. So sometimes I go on my bed at night like Hezekiah and cry out to God and saying, this is beating me up. Step into my space, please. I need something here to help me get past this for another day. God answered Hezekiah's prayer. He answers my prayer. But here's what I'm afraid of. It is something that I'm afraid of. When Hezekiah got healed, he did some stupid stuff that allowed the Babylonians to come in and bring final destruction to the existence of the kingdom of Judah. And when the prophet Isaiah said, that was a stupid thing that you did, that was a really stupid thing that you did, and because of that, the Babylonians are going to come, and everything that you've shown them, they're going to take. They're going to steal everything, rummage everything, and take it back to Babylon. But it's not going to happen in your lifetime. Hezekiah said, that's good. I'll have peace and security for the rest of my life. That scares me. Because I know God's going to bless me. I know God's going to give me the things I'm asking of Him. But I ridicule myself and discipline myself and advise myself, don't fall into that trap that if it's okay for the rest of your life, and to hell with what happens after that. What about your children and grandchildren? Don't you care about them? Hezekiah's son became king. His name was Manasseh. He was born after the healing. He was a terror. He destroyed the country. Because of him, the country fell apart. Hezekiah prayed for healing. When God told him of the mistake that he made, couldn't he have gone back to God and said, oh, I'm sorry, I realize how stupid that was, and I don't want this to fall on my heritage. I don't want this to be the legacy that I leave behind. I caution myself about that. So if you heard all this, what I just said, brings any measure of blessing or encouragement to you, God be praised. But don't think about life for yourself alone. Think about life, what you do while you're alive, but what happens when you're gone. What testimony are you leaving behind? What legacy are you leaving behind? Value that. Pray into that also. And be blessed. Amen.